Sure that there we go.
But yeah, like for example, the mech suit and the
Yeah.
FEV, I have no problem letting you guys like I can call it in and let you guys jump on it, and I'll just run around being my standard infantry mode.
Dude, you and I will get along so well on the battlefield because that's how I have to play with Goose, and it's so much easier because I know exactly what's for me, and I know exactly what's like just stuff I brought with me. And also, I've realized I only need 2 stratagems. Give me a grenade launcher and either a jump pack or a rover, and I will obliterate the town.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I have a very set system I use. Like for example, I use the double-edged sickle, which is a weapon that if it starts to overheat, like it's a laser machine gun, but when it starts to overheat, it starts taking your life, except for with the vitality booster and the armor I'm on, it actually doesn't drain my health. So I've got laser machine gun, basically an unlimited run of it.
Which armor do you use?
The flame-proof armor.
I have to get that one then. Because I just got that bond because I thought it was super funny to be suicide bombing my friends. And I really wanted the hell bomb so I could double team it.
Oh, like portable hell bomb?
Yeah, hell bomb and exploding suit, so both would go off.
Yeah, no, fair. But yeah, no, I use flameproof and the double-edged sickle, and then I use orbital laser and the 500 kg, and I basically run around like a recon trooper calling in targets for orbital. I don't do that and like the shield backpack and either the quasar cannon or the grenade launcher, depending on what I'm fighting. Quasar cannon for automatons because some of their bigger guys are annoying, and grenade launcher for the nids because nothing closes a bug hole quite like a grenade.
Dude, nids, and it took me forever to realize that like you have to choose your loadout properly with each people you're fighting, because I was running around with just my favorite gun, whatever it was at the time, and every time I would switch enemies, I would get progressively worse and better at the gun until I switched the gun. And so now I'm like, you gotta use a shotgun when you're fighting Terminids with the grenade launcher. When you're fighting robots, you use the laser weapons, and you bring a Tesla tower.
Oh, dude, you bring a Tesla? Okay, no, we can no longer be friends if you deploy Tesla towers. They get me killed every time.
I think that is the funniest weapon there is against your teammates, just in terms of like if you're doing the missions where you like have to find all the bug pits.
Yep.
And so you got 12 minutes and like for a couple of days there the aerial was free. Yep. So I was just bombarding and then I'd just be running and get myself by my own tower.
Well, if you really want to go on like a team killing frenzy, there's a rover there's a backpack drone that fires the arc from the Tesla, it's a portable Tesla tower. It just follows you around doing that nonsense.
Dude, that one gets you more than it gets the enemy. I think the laser one, the guard dog with the laser.
Oh, the rover, yeah.
I have died so many times from freaking lasers lighting me on fire.
That's why I take the shield backpack now. The bubble shield backpack is like double your HP.
Dude, the machine gun is the best one. If you get the machine gun rover, it is like having an extra squad mate that actually knows how to aim.
Actually, the gas one is also really ball.
Really? I have not used the gas one. I thought the gas one was going to be useless because I was messing with mechs for the most time.
Yeah. No, but the gas one is pretty baller, especially against the nids, because it's like having a little like roving flamethrower.
Doesn't get you though?
Oh, sometimes, but usually you can move out of the gas before it murders you to death, like hard.
See, that's why I like the machine gun. The machine gun doesn't. It legitimately is like having a squad.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. The other booster that I highly recommend if you like the machine gun rover is the resupply packs with the built-in machine gun on top. Like it's a turret that has supply packs.
Dude, I was wondering why that guy's the black guy getting hurt.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's, you know, the missions where you have to kill like so many bad guys before, like, you know, in a set area, like in a small area.
Yeah.
You take that booster and 4 turrets, and that's it. And you just plant everything and sit and like lie down, and just let all the sentries do the work.
Dude, I like that method. That's new to me. My favorite method on those ones is anti-tank mines and a mortar turret. You put the mortar turret in the front, and then you just keep dropping anti-tank mines in a perfect line around the area, and all you need is a grenade launcher every once in a while to just clean that nest that opened too far back. But like the
Damn, now I know you're a Marine.
protect everything.
Now I know you're a Marine. Landmines and artillery. Just that.
Paint it. You see that target over there?
Paint it
I don't
black.
want to see it anymore.
Meanwhile, I'm like running by at full clip, tossing stratagem balls with 500 kg and just keep running.
Full clip. What are you using? An M1 Grand?
No. Like I'm running at full speed.
Oh.
Running by, tossing,
throwing the grenade, diving past the bug as it tries to hack your back.
Well, it's you drop a call in for a 500 kilogram explosion as you're yeeting yourself by, and they're kind of like, "What the hell was that guy running by screaming?" And then all of a sudden, everything's on fire. It's great.
Yeah. But the only thing in the entire game so far, when your friend is walking past a hell bomb and you say, "Is it bad if I shoot this after you shot it?"
Oh God. Those are the worst.
You do it to him every time. Hey, are you supposed to shoot that thing? Oh.
As the world goes a little gray.
Not yellow, little gray.
Yeah. And everybody's suddenly wondering why the radiological alarm just went off.
Dude, the nukes in that game are so spectacular. My son was watching it. Oh, how beautiful it is. Looks like a bridge.
My favorite image is always when the nuke launches and like the guy, and you frame it right so the nuke is gonna land in the background, and you're just like hugging another dude as the bomb goes off.
Dude, I did not think about that. That's hilarious. Oh,
Or you know the Towers of Power handshake there? You do that as the bomb is dropping. Yeah.
dude, that's an anime attack.
That's it, man. Well, it's the double flash, right? Yeah, right?
That would be one for one punch to really question. I feel like you would talk to them more than most questions.
Here we go. Let me copy this here. All right. Check the Discord chat. Oh no, it didn't copy it as a GIF. Ah, you bastard. Hold on. Let me get it. Here you go.
Yes.
I thought you'd appreciate that one.
That is perfect.
Oh.
Honestly, this game is a lot of what the
Morality.
Call of Duties and the battlefields are like missing about core mechanics being function first, everything else second. Like, the more I can move, the less I care about how often I die.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still prefer not to die on mission. But some of the, if I'm gonna go out, it's going to be, to a swarm that I could not stop on my own. And I'm okay with it, right?
Oh, dude, that's why I love the Martyr armor even more. Because, like, I get swarmed and 12 of you are coming with me, and I'll be back with you. Just straight, like, embrace the expendable nature of the characters, and it feels way more, like, it's funny because I don't feel more like a general just wasting bodies. I feel like an expendable character like Mickey 17, but also way more empowered than Mickey 17.
Okay, now that you've played Helldivers 2, when they do the movie, here's what I think should happen. They should have like 4 like really high-powered star characters that initially drop, get eaten by bugs, and then the replacements start.
Tonight, can't get enough World War II? Well, good news, they're making a Call of Duty movie. And there's a whole bunch of other crazy news going on in the world of Hollywood, as well as all the stuff we got to talk about with Alien Earth and Star Trek all right now on the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast. And welcome back to one of the most incompetent shows on YouTube. I am Petey York, host of the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast, brought to you by the Writer Brothers. Joining me today is the ever-so-lovely Mr. Corion Witch in Residence, the ever-so-lovely Mr. Pollo Zapatos, and the ever-so-lovely Miss H. Marie.
Hello.
Welcome back. It is good to have you back after a long hiatus, and it's of course good to be back once again this oh-so-fine week. How's everyone been? We got schools coming, if it hasn't already started already for some of you out there.
My daughter started her first day of grade 8.
Wow.
So, yeah, we had her holding up the dawn of the last year, 195 or 96 days remaining.
All right.
Getting that Majora's Mask reference in early.
Those are important to get in before, the teenage disappointment sets in and they find other fads and get into shows and stuff that it's like, this is a Doctor Who Star Wars household. We won't have none of that Star Trek in here. Anyway, of course, that's not the case in my household. Pretty much all sci-fis are created equal, more or less. But,
So what you're saying is in your house you're bisexual?
Starial. I swing both
Spatial?
stars.
Bispatial?
It's by universe. Look, I like shows with pew-pews and lasers and lightsabers and phasers, okay? It's that simple.
Look, guys, I like a world that looks prettier than the one everybody else is paying to create right now.
That's
It's a
why I
lot
play
more
No Man's
gray than
Sky.
there should be.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Alrighty then. So, as you guys know, we've been doing this Tuesday show. Dahlia Lightwood says, "Hey all, hey Dahlia Lightwood, good to see you.
Hey, Dahlia.
Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Well, all the better now that you're here to watch us complain about Hollywood like we do all the time on the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast, because that's what we are. We're just complainers and ranters. We want nothing to succeed. Nothing pleases us. We are always angry. Just three angry white guys that cannot appreciate nuance of culture. We obviously just only can relate to shows if the characters look exactly like me. And by that I mean, here is a commercial for a new AI product that lets you, a hyper insecure narcissist, get your face planted on every single character in your favorite movie. That is a fake ad I need to come up with for next week or something. Anyway,
I need every single movie to have Tobey Maguire in it.
No, we have that banner down there that
Zach Galifianakis.
Yes. All movies must be Tobey Maguire and Zach Galifianakis. I agree.
No, every movie needs Gowron making the Gowron stare.
Yeah. Top Hat Jay says, "Get AI to make the ad for you." Yeah. Well, while I'm at it, let me just
Maguire making the stare.
Kill this banner here, so don't try to.
Or this one. It has to be Dark Spider-Man, Toby.
But no, it's the AI filter for the raging narcissist in all of us just turns and then eventually you'll get an add-on for your Google Glasses that'll just make everyone around you look exactly like you.
And then finally you'll learn empathy.
That's so wrong. I love it.
Probably true. Anyway, so
they're all wearing my shoes.
The truth of the matter is, we give you our honest opinions, and sometimes we don't like things, and that's what we want to talk about, is why we don't like them, and then there are things we do like and things we do love, like Strange New Worlds Season 2 Episode 2, for example, was really good.
Yeah,
I just don't know why that show couldn't give us anything like that since.
I would go with it more like, I don't really give two hoots about fine food. You give me a steak, and I don't care if it was my dad or the chef, the king, that cooked it. It's probably going to taste great with A1. Nobody's going to like me for that, but I have a problem with food. But when it comes to a movie,
stay out of Texas, boy.
You give me The Acolyte, or you give me Phantom Menace, and I'm going to prove to you that one of them tried and the other tried not to try.
Top Hat Jay, and here's why we hate all those things we love. That's right. We are at it. We are clickbaity. We are jumping on the rage bait train. Everybody seems to still have successful rage channels, so it's time for the Ryder brothers to throw in the towel and ride the rage. I don't ever want to do that again, but I'm probably going to. So let's start raging out on what in the actual balls is going on at Paramount. For those of you
that guy.
Yeah,
when you think about it,
number one concern right now. Who let that guy out of the basement?
All right, I'm going to read the article and we're going to complain about it henceforth.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. In a move that Paramount CEO David Ellison calls a dream come true, the Call of Duty video game franchise will become a big screen movie franchise, thanks to a major deal between the entertainment studio and Activision. Yay! Activision and Paramount have inked a deal that will see the studio develop, produce, and distribute a live-action film based on the game franchise, designed to thrill its massive global fan base by delivering on the hallmarks of what fans love about the iconic series while boldly expanding the franchise into entirely new audiences. So guess what, guys?
Wait
a minute. So a movie's gonna have a battle pass?
It's gonna
Wait. When am I gonna get my American Dad skin in the movie?
Right. It's gonna bring all the thrill of the movies. Oh my god. So it's gonna be World War II, but a freaking live action cartoon. Okay.
No. None of this says World War II, and that picture is advanced warfare. the game that
hope.
killed the series.
Hope you are correct, because yes, adding a battle pass to a television show makes perfect sense for the modern era of Call of Duty. You know what? Fine, I'm all for it.
Okay, no.
But
Here's what I need.
Your main characters, what will they be armed with? Are they going to be armed with sticks? Nope, you didn't purchase the battle pass for the main characters. Now they don't get the M1 Grands. America loses World War II, you cheap asses.
Yeah, like, look, here's what I want from this movie. And if they do this, I will legitimately say this is a Call of Duty movie. 1, the movie requires you to have a battle pass in order to be able to get the full experience of it. That has to happen. 2, they need to be able to put skins into the movie, i.e., when I go into the theater, I'm given a special set of glasses. And if I pay for the DLC, the main character becomes the dad from American Dad.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you know, I'd like nonsense like that. Like, I need to be able to do that.
Captain Price wears a bikini.
Yeah, like, I need that level of insanity from this movie. If they don't have the tech to do that or the willingness to do it, I don't think I'm into this one, but we'll see.
Yeah, what the freaking heck is the point of merging with Microsoft if you can't bring me American Dad to the big screen?
Top Hat Jay in the chat says, War Movies, the video game, the movie starring Seth Rogen. Exactly. That's
it.
Exactly. World War II by Seth Rogen. Anyway.
I bought that Game Pass. I love Seth Rogen, and I think it is so funny that he is in Call of Duty. He's my character whenever I play. So you're just constantly getting killed by...
You would do something so diabolical and evil, you jackass, and you did. All right.
And you know, we need to have, there's a couple of other things that need to be in the movie too. We need to have that one character that is clearly using an aimbot.
Yeah.
and everyone is accusing him of hacks, right? We need that. We need.
Of course, I'm going to use the cheat code. I'm the aimbot. I'm the bad guy. Okay.
Yeah, and we need somebody making
the whole plot of the movie. A, Reznov's back. B, what's his name from the last game that was in there? The guy that died in the tank, but somehow wasn't in the tank and came back this last game.
Oh, like every other Call of Duty main character?
No, he was like a major bad guy plot twist at the end of the game. Turns out he was just like a wing of the corporate America.
There was a beta unit in the tank.
They're the bad guys, and the MacGuffin of the game is wall hacks and aimbots. Like, they have just created a robot that creates perfect aim and can see through walls and detect enemy combatants with ease. And the whole thing is going to be about anti-cheat.
Oh, yeah, no. And well, the other thing that we need is we need to have two
G.I. Joe episode.
Yeah.
Like, where at the end it says, the more you know about anti-cheat.
Yeah. The other piece I need from this movie, the final piece, and then I will have everything I need for a Call of Duty experience. During a fight where they're like, you know, firing like over waist high walls and whatnot, somebody, like 2 combatants, need to have a discussion about engaging in intercourse with each other's mothers. If we have these things, it will feel like a Call of Duty game.
In the chat says, if you could make every side character a racist 11-year-old who has previously romanced my mother, I'd be pretty impressed.
That's it. That's exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah. Guys teabagging soldiers on the battlefield. I'm telling you, it's just World War II, but with clowns. Dude, all right, we're gonna
the whole movie is more like Ready Player One, and all of the actors are random kids, but they're treated like Call of Duty characters within the universe, and nobody notices that they're 11-year-olds. Just
that would be great.
I'm gonna watch that movie
better and better as we talk about
it. That's Super Trooper, Starship Trooper, Call of Duty. And yes, you can put the American Dad skin in there multiple times. I'll still think it's funny.
Oh man!
Like, you've suddenly gone from cash grab to cash grab.
I think, guys, we just pitched the better version of this movie. Like, honestly.
Top at Jay says Call of Duty teabagging Private Ryan. Yes, exactly.
There you go.
All right, continuing the article. The deal is a big one.
Especially if there's a kid that's just an 11-year-old playing the whole time and they keep calling him Call of Duty. Like, just owning how dumb this whole thing is.
The deal is a big one. Well, in more ways than just financial, obviously. With Call of Duty among the most popular video game franchises in the world, says a lot about humanity. 500 million copies of its various games have been sold over the years, with the series being the top-selling game franchise in the US for the past 16 years. The series is a first-person shooter spanning various eras from World War II and Vietnam to the current day and decades into the future. Video game IP has become a prized asset for film and TV executives, with homegrown original franchises still hard to come by. Universal and Illumination have turned to Nintendo's Super Mario games into a billion-dollar film franchise, with the Japanese gaming company working with Sony to do the same for The Legend of Zelda. Sonic the Hedgehog is a hit for Paramount already, with films, because they listen to us, the fans, with films based on games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Metal Gear Solid, and Elden Ring also in line for film treatments in the next few years. Thanks to his
Mortal
decades-long...
Kombat 2, which is also Mortal Kombat 12.
Thanks to its decades-long history and global popularity, however, Call of Duty has been a particularly prized piece of unexploited game IP. Unexploited game IP.
Yeah, clearly they've never played the
Very poor
game.
choice of words.
You don't remember all of the last 2 decades.
Oh God.
Okay, we technically haven't exploited people on streaming services yet.
So you know, and I will say this: like,
They
I
have.
get that this is a Hollywood reporter writing this, and the three of us being gamers know the actual score, but it feels like he wrote this with people like us in mind, so that we'd be laughing our way through the article.
Gamers of Reddit who play Call of Duty, what are your thoughts on an upcoming movie? Yep, that's
I'm
exactly
getting
what
more
happened.
and more dark Toby Maguire as this article goes on, and I'm just saying, what the frickin' heck? Who didn't have sex with this guy's mom
This
to
is
teach
just-
him about Call of Duty?
Right, exactly. All right, quote. As a lifelong Call of Duty, lifelong fan of Call of Duty, this is truly a dream come true, Ellison said in
Lifelong
a
my
statement.
ass. If you don't know about Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare and the exploitation of gamers with battle packs.
From the first
World
Allied
War II, you
campaigns
guys
in the
don't
original
remember that?
Call of
Dropping
Duty
down boot lockers.
through Modern
Okay,
Warfare
let's let him get through the article.
and Black Ops, I've spent countless hours playing this franchise that I absolutely love. Being entrusted by Activision and players worldwide to bring this extraordinary storytelling universe to the big screen is both an honor and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Paramount execs have made this promise before. A certain Star Trek showrunner made the same kind of statement when he finally got control of Star Trek, and miss you, Fuller, sort of. We're approaching this film with the same discipline, uncompromising commitment to excellence that guided our work on the Top Gun Maverick. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
let's just
Okay.
Ignore Halo.
Right? They haven't they haven't mentioned Halo, they haven't dropped the H word yet. Ensuring it meets the exceptionally high standards this franchise understands.
Flagship show Halo, which dropped Paramount Plus to the bottom of the charts, completely left out of this article.
So
I
far,
don't know-
so far. Let's see if that holds. He continued, I can promise that we're resolute in our mission to deliver a cinematic experience that honors the legacy of this one in a billion brand thrilling longtime fans of Call of Duty Captivity. Okay, we're gonna hold you to this. Like this is all being recorded and archived, Mr. Ellison, so I want to believe you. I mean, an actual gamer as a CEO poses a huge, literal game-changing event for how economies and companies are going to be run going forward.
Unless his favorite game is Madden.
Unless it's like, I've spent countless hours, as in 2, playing this franchise. I just watched all the videos of the campaigns.
Warcraft. I paid for my character.
When asked by The Hollywood Reporter earlier this month about future plans for Paramount and whether the video games would be part of it, Ellison said that gaming is absolutely going to be in an area that we obviously look towards, with Skydance already investing in the space. The deal with Activision suggests that the company is also looking elsewhere as it seeks to stock up its IP slate. Paramount has linked a number of major deals since Ellison and Skydance assumed control of the company last month. This has included a $7.7 billion deal for UFC fights, an exclusive multi-year deal with the Duffer Brothers, blah, blah, blah. Throughout its history, Call of Duty has captured our imagination with incredible action and intense stories that have brought millions of people together from around the world. The focus on making incredible Call of Duty games remains unwavering. Activision President Rob Kostich added. With Paramount, we have found a fantastic partner who we will work with to take the visceral, breathtaking action to the big screen in a defining cinematic moment. The film will honor and expand upon what has made the franchise great in the first place, and we cannot wait to get started. Our shared goal is quite simple: to create an unforgettable blockbuster movie experience that our community loves and that also excites and inspires fans of the franchise. Well, it could work.
Okay, so
Or it could be Halo Part 2. I mean,
So-
Part
It
3.
could also be Halo Part 2. That's very
now I am going to say this, though. There is something to consider here. What they said there was basically, we're going to mine Activision for all their damn worth.
true.
Now, do you guys want to know what IPs potentially they could be talking about there?
I mean,
Because I have a list of Activision IPs that are possibilities for movies.
I'm 90% certain an Anson Mount skin is being developed for Call of Duty Warzone as we speak. There's probably going to be some other Paramount crossover stuff hitting the game soon.
Well, okay, because we've got Call of Duty. We've also got Soldier of Fortune that's owned by Activision, right? We have Blur, which is that sci-fi racing game that they have. So it could be like Fast and the Furious meets Tron, which could be kind of cool.
right.
right?
Remind me, did Activision fully absorb Blizzard?
Yes, which
Oh,
means Diablo and StarCraft.
StarCraft.
Yeah, but Diablo too, man.
Yeah, sure, but StarCraft, I never got into it, so I can't really speak to it. But StarCraft, the TV series. Now, if we can do what we did with Halo as far as the aesthetics and the visuals, those were good. That's it.
But then we also have like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot and like Skylanders. These are IPs that could make an awful lot of money on the family side of things.
Yeah, that's true.
There's Prototype, there's Singularity. I mean, if you really want to get technical, there's Zork. Let's see, there's Hexen / Heretic, Pitfall. There's the True Crime series. Let's see. If we want to get really stupid, they also technically own Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Guitar Hero, and DJ Hero. We could get movies of those.
Guitar Hero the movie.
Guitar Hero the movie. Think about that for just a second. That could
Yes.
be the stupidest comedy ever, and it would work brilliantly.
Stop at Jay says Diablo gory ass series would be pretty immense. Or maybe
Yeah.
not intense. Guitar Hero live in concert. Yeah, exactly.
That's it,
A
man.
Fathom event. That's right. Get all your friends and get your webcams together. All right, moving on. We got to move right along here. It is coming up to the top of the hour. This section of the show is brought to you by Top Hat J. If you like what you see in the comment section, come see what he does on what is it, Thursday, Friday, some nights of the week at karaoke here in Key West. All right, moving on. Next story is A House of Dynamite. Idris Elba and Rebecca Ferguson in Catherine Bigelow's precision-tooled, viscerally unsettling nail biter.
Yes.
8 years since the last feature, Catherine Bigelow returns with an unrelenting chokehold thriller so controlled, kinetic, and unsettlingly immersive that you stagger out of it at the end wondering if the world will still be intact. Though it's less of a war film than a drama about the aggressive threat of war, A House of Dynamite is very much a piece of the director's later career gut punches, The Hurt Locker, and Zero Dark 30. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, so let me set the stage for you on
I'll
this
just
one
let you-
because I
yeah.
think
Go ahead.
because I think I can elevator pitch this movie to you in a way that, you know, is actually good. Do you remember how we were mocking the hell out of the latest 1984 movie, saying it was a terrible idea?
I think so.
Like having the dude in just like one room on a webcam the entire time was the stupidest
War of
way
the
of doing a
Worlds.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, imagine if somebody watched that and said, no. Here's how you set something like this up properly. And they basically took the idea of mutually assured destruction, and this is like in the bunker as the world is ending thanks to nuclear war. Okay, that's the idea of this movie, and it's from guys who can build that drama, who can build that nonsense. If you recall Clear and Present Danger, which was the movie, if I remember correctly, set in the sub where the two guys were fighting over whether to launch the nukes or not.
I think that's the one.
Yeah.
No,
This
that's got a different name to it. It's not Hunt for Red October. It's not.
No, but that movie is got the same. This is the spiritual successor to that movie. This is everyone realizing the world is about to end and how to deal with that, and it brings that Hurt Locker and that Zero Dark 30 energy to it, and that's what makes this fan freaking tastic.
Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide, that's the one.
That's the one you were thinking of, yeah.
Yeah. So this is like if Crimson Tide, but not on a boat.
Okay. I mean, like I said, initially reading it, it kind of felt like a sort of 24-esque thriller, which I enjoyed 24 for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it does have those elements too. Pollo Zapatos is knocking on the door here.
There he is. Welcome back. All
Sorry,
right.
had to be a parent for a second.
Oh, anyway. Judy Reyes. Oh, sorry. Or Reyes? Reyes? Yeah, Judy Reyes, I think is how you say her name.
No,
Lord Scrubs revival at ABC. She'll reprise her role as Nurse Carla Espinoza while remaining a regular on High Potential. Well, guys, I didn't know there was a Scrubs revival coming, and
well, that's why this caught my eye. I know you're a Scrubs guy, so
scary nervous noises begin. All right, here we go. Another member of the Sacred Heart Hospital staff will be on call for ABC's Scrubs revival. Judy Reyes has signed on to the show to reprise her role as Carla, Sacred Heart's head nurse, and Dr. Chris Turk's wife. She'll recur on Scrubs and be billed as a special guest star while continuing her series regular on another ABC series, High Potential. Reyes joins Zach Braff, Sarah Chalk, and Faison in the revival, which ABC formally picked up in July after several months of development. It's set for a mid-season premiere in 2025-2026.
If Zach is not playing the older, seen it all, whipping these newbies into shape character that Dr. Cox was, I'll be sad, because he deserves that role now.
Yeah. Reyes was a regular on 8 of Scrubs' 9 seasons on NBC and ABC. She didn't appear in the final medical school set ABC season. The show explained her absence at the time by saying she left her hospital post after giving birth to her and Turk's second child. After several years of the Scrubs cast and creator Bill Lawrence discussing a revival, the show went into development in late 2024. Braff signed on to reprise his role as Dr. John J.D. Dorian in May, and Chalk and Faison joined as ABC announced the series order. The revival's log line reads, JD and Turk scrub in together for the first time in a long time. Medicine has changed, interns have changed, but their bromance has stood the test of time. Characters new and old navigate the waters of Sacred Heart with laughter, heart, and some surprises along the way. So, this already is looking promising, a little bit better than, what we initially got with season 9 of Scrubs. I don't know if any of you bothered watching season 9. I tried.
I did, but it's not great.
It's so bad because they tried to sort of pass on the torch to new characters, but it just didn't really work. So the fact that our focus is JD and Turk to start sounds very promising. We got a comment from Top Hat Jay. He says, I say JD passes Perry and takes over the hospital for Kelso.
That's so dark. I love it.
Mean. Please tell me that's what happens. But I don't see John C. McGinley's name attached to this yet. Disney's 20th Television is producing the Scrubs revival. Tim Hobart and Asim Batra, writers and producers. In Batra's case, an occasional guest star on the original series will serve as showrunners. They executive produced with Lawrence, who negotiated to carve out in his overall deal at Warner Bros. TV to become an executive producer on the show. Braff, Chalk, Faison, and Jeff Ingold, and Lisa Katzer of Lawrence's Doozer Productions. Reyes plays... don't really care about that. All right, that's the end of what I care about to read on this article.
To me, this sounds like a really good idea. We've had so many medical shows over the last little while, we need a good comedy to break them up.
We really need to bring back, and the thing is, a lot of doctors and nurses praise Scrubs for its accuracy and realism, because that's really what a lot of what the hospital environment is actually like. It's, some people are very detached or robotic, as you might say, but when you work in a profession where you deal with a lot of death, I mean, there's plenty of wrong ways to go about coping with it, but unfortunately not a whole lot of right ways, except maybe to just laugh it off in the end.
Well, there's also the when they find the intern that seems to always wind up losing people, they just put him in charge of the morgue to, like, keep him out of the way, but also, like, if he's going to be around death this much, might as well make it his hobby, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, now it's time to take a quick look at the rundown. This is kind of like when you have the TV guide show up in the mail.
Yeah.
Take a look at all the upcoming shows that are coming in 2025. So, starting right out of the gate, yesterday, a couple of shows here. The Runarounds on Prime Video, the Chrisleys, Back to Reality, Lifetime, okay, whatever, and something on Investigation Discovery. Let's see, Return to Paradise on BritBox as of today. If you're into BritBox, the show Return to Paradise is back.
Wednesday's coming back for a new season.
And of course, Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
So, new season of that show now live on Comedy Central as of tomorrow. NCIS will be coming back on September 4th. Apparently, looks like we got a spin-off featuring these two characters, Tony and Ziva, if I'm guessing correctly. The Paper, Lean Lee on BritBox, let's see, Countdown, and, oh, hey! Football's back. Yay! Now people can gather around their TVs and hopefully their YouTube screens.
There we go.
Friday, September 5th, Love Con Revenge on Netflix. The Great British Baking Show on Netflix comes out weekly. Dish it out on Prime Video. September 6th, Have I Got News for You on CNN. Oh, well, don't care. MTV Music Awards, for those who want to watch, is going to be on September 7th. More
they still
football on the 8th.
They still make music videos?
Apparently, I guess they couldn't kill the radio star after all. They just showed them on TV instead. Monday, September 15th. Another season of Futurama already. All right. All episodes dropping again. That was fast. Didn't we just have a season finish? I'm confused now. Okay. Or maybe it's okay. All episodes, or are they premiering it on FXX now?
That's weird. Okay.
Let's see. Solid.
Gen V's coming back September 17th.
And 5, The Morning Show on Apple TV, which I've heard we kind of need to check out because I think it was the same guys that did The Newsroom. And The Newsroom, that we're talking about a throwback show we should consider going through. The Newsroom is fantastic.
Gen 5 is not Gen 5. It's
Gen V.
He is the drug that makes superheroes.
Gen Victor, got it. Dahlia Lightwood says, I wish there were more sci-fi and horror shows. Well, Dahlia, you gotta check out Alien Earth on Hulu if you haven't already.
And, guys, the big one, September 21st, Tulsa King is back, baby.
I think we're still a season behind on that one. Let's see. Top Hat J says, Only Murders in the Building is its own thing and everyone should definitely watch.
It's interesting.
Oh my gosh, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past on Disney Plus Friday, September 19th. I'm not actually excited, I'm just being ridiculous. We got Tulsa King September 25th.
Dude, okay, side note real quick, PD. This is something to just shoot your childhood right in the steroids. Go watch those Bricks of the Universe series. It's everything we used to do as kids with Legos and Star Wars, and like, what if they made a show about Legos as Star Wars characters?
So we got a nostalgia itch I can fulfill.
Dude, it's everything that Lego Star Wars, the original, was, with words. It doesn't make sense how it works, but it works so beautifully well. Do yourself the favor.
Yeah.
Check it out. Especially if you're a kid that grew up with Legos, do yourself the favor.
Dahlia Lightwood seems to agree with you. Is excited for it. Lego Star Wars is way more hilarious than I expected. But as far as Alien Earth being good, if you like the original Alien movie,
it's
this
solid.
is definitely gonna be and you can still enjoy Aliens and Alien 3, but
when we get back to that discussion, I'm going to reiterate what I said last week, and that is, if you like Alien, you'll like Alien Earth. And if you think you don't because you liked what Alien stood for, you're an idiot, because what Alien stood for is Alien Earth.
Can you go up for 1 second? Because there's a series that we missed up there. The Into the Void, Life, Death, and Heavy Metal. Worth checking out.
Okay.
I recommend it.
I know we're also still a season behind on Slow Horses. But hey, another season's coming out. We can catch up.
Marvel Zombies should be pretty good too.
Okay. And it looks like, let's see, House of Guinness. Ooh, I'm sure beer fans will be happy about that one. The Red King on AMC Plus, to be specific.
Yeah.
Not seeing a whole lot of stuff for me that I'm total. Oh, Below Deck Mediterranean's back September 29th. Awesome. Yeah, if you ever want to know what it's like to work on a yacht, that shows more of an exaggeration of what it's like to work on a yacht, but it kind of is real life. Some people say it's like half scripted, but I enjoyed it because to me, I was like, that's almost like a Coast Guard cutter. Oh, September 28th, H. Marie, Bob's Burgers.
There you go.
So, oh, and Crapopolis is back. If you haven't checked out Crapopolis is pretty funny on yeah, that one's on Fox, but I was watching on Hulu. Yeah, September 28th looks like when all. Oh yeah, Simpsons is also coming back. So we now have Simpsons, Futurama, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, and King of the Hill, all live active shows right now. How cool is that? Oh, but wait, there's October to go. Okay, we're just gonna hold up with September. We'll come back to this in October.
Yep, deal.
All right, last story before we get into the reviews of our content that we're following. Warwick Davis to return as Professor Phileas Flitwick for HBO's Harry Potter TV series. So, reprising his role in the movies, Warwick Davis will be recasted as the same character.
Yeah. I mean, the only other actor that's coming back from the movies is the kid who played Draco Malfoy is now playing his dad in the series. He's now playing Lucius Malfoy.
The whole series works entirely if those two meet up for 1 minute in the beginning and go, why are we alive?
Yeah, right.
And from there, you can do whatever you want. And you can answer that question at the very end. You could just be like, they took a potion. I don't know. Make it up. And then suddenly you can have Black Snape.
I don't know, man. I think Black Snape. Look, I have no problem per se with a Black Snape, except for when you know the character's backstory, it goes to a whole lot darker place with Snape being played as a black character. A whole lot darker. And I don't know if that's a good thing or really, really not, but I feel like it's probably a really, really not.
I don't know. I'm probably going to check out the movies again in Christmas time because I only recently watched them for the first time very recently. But yeah. All right. We are going to now move on to our Strange Unoriginal Rehashes review. So, first of all, I want to say if you are enjoying Strange New Worlds, then great. Please say all the praise that you would like to and I can
So what is this now? 9 and 10?
Episode 8.
8. Okay.
For Strange New Worlds. It is 4.5 Vulcans. Let's see. Top Hat J says Trans Dumbledore. Let's put Rowling in her place. I don't think that would go the way you would want.
Yeah, that's already been done, man. Check out Hogwarts Legacy. They've already had trans characters. It's not that big a deal.
Well, and it wouldn't it wouldn't make sense because the character's supposed to be, well, but then he was also retconned to be gay, so is he even actually gay in the first place? Like,
Well, I mean, retconned is kind of iffy. It was highly implied there was something going on in the last 2 books,
okay.
but Rowling just kind of spelled it out for everybody.
Yeah. Dahlia Lightwood says, I'm a sci-fi gal, though. Never was into that fantasy after around age 15 or so. So, yeah, like, I got into it because Hogwarts Legacy is an incredible game and addition to the video game zeitgeist. But also wanted to finally get around to the movies because, well, I was able to grow out of my Lord of the Rings elitism and just appreciate a different universe from other people's perspectives. It was definitely worth that for me. But anyway, if you were enjoying Star Trek Strange New Worlds, great. I'm happy to hear that. I just,
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Strange New Worlds.
I understand.
Question mark?
I understand if it's working for you in a sense. It's just the reason it's not for me anymore is because when the show hits a good note, when the show hits a strong stride, we don't get any more of that. They then think that once we have a really good episode, a solid episode of a show that feels adult and grown up, we then get like 3 or 4 or 5 episodes of just kind of sort of childish silliness trying to accomplish what exactly. Now, there were some fascinating ideas to this episode in general, and certainly some things that could be explained away, but at this point with episode 8 of the 3rd season, I'm pretty much ready for... My expectation for season 4 is that we need to see Orville season 3. I know I've said that before, I'm going to say it again, but at this point, if this show really wants to land on a good note, it's like, yes, we could do an occasional silly episode, but look at The Next Generation. Season 3 on is some of the best television ever written and created because the show put on its big boy pants. The show actually started to behave more like an adult, I guess you could say. Yes, there are some weird episodes even in later seasons, like Troy devolving into a fish thing, or Worf turning into a, bear targ thing, or whatever. Yeah, it wasn't without its cheese, but we also, got our candy episode after like a nice main course of meat and potatoes and thought-provoking sci-fi. Now, it wasn't always philosophical thought-provoking, but it was at least a contained story to enjoy. Now, I don't necessarily need the contained stories. I don't mind the longer arcs because, well, we've had to basically slow down the way we digest entertainment and shows. So we can't always expect to do 45-minute plot arcs every week like we used to. The storytelling methods have shifted. The way we keep audiences attracted to shows is not just one-off weekly episodes you can tune out and forget about. Now it's because everything's on demand and streaming, we can actually continue these serialized plots. So I don't mind the serialization of it so much. What I do mind is just the fact that we're just kind of fluff. It's just cotton candy Star Trek at this point. It doesn't feel like the grounded substance, the more of it that I'd like to see. That said, if Strange New Worlds is still getting you to go watch other good Star Treks, I recommend all of the original series. If you can find the original cuts without the special effects, all the better, but nothing wrong with some AI-enhanced visuals to help you get through it. I would also recommend Star Trek Deep Space Nine, personally, because I love that one, and Enterprise as well. Next Gen is worth watching at least once, but I will admit, as a show, it is kind of structured in a way that if you don't really understand either Star Trek and or military life, it does get a little dry in some areas. So
I will say that the first 2 seasons of Next Gen are a little rough, but it does get remarkably better as time goes on.
Yeah. I absolutely say that, but DS9 to me has more characters, and that's what gives it more heart. And then, of course, the continuing storylines in the background give you more reason to come back next week. Besides, well, let's go see what, we're going to go on an adventure this week and then hit the magic reset button. Looking at you, Voyager.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine feels more lived in, I think, is the best way to put it.
It feels more like TOS and TNG are the Roddenberry vision. They're the goal. They're the standard. Deep Space Nine is the reality and the struggle of trying to get to that standard. But it shows that despite your morals and your ethics being challenged at the edge of civilized space, that you can still take a stand for what's right and you can still uphold your values, even if you have to occasionally make some pretty gray area decisions.
There's actually a really great line in Deep Space Nine that sums it up. It's when Cisco goes, "You know what the problem is with Starfleet? It's Earth. On Earth, it's easy to be, to have all the answers because all the problems have solved. Yeah, it's easy to be a saint in paradise, but we don't live in paradise, right? Not all the answers have been figured out here yet."
Yep.
And that's absolutely what Deep Space Nine brings to the table.
Absolutely. Here is what this week's Strange New Worlds brought to the table with 4.5 Vulcans. One of... This is probably one of the worst episodes of the series in all retrospect, and I mean, I wouldn't say it's
and we're including the musical in that.
Dude.
Like, this, in my mind, competes with the musical for worst episode.
It was pushing it. I mean, it was really, like... I can understand... Alright, so I'm going to read the plot synopsis. Pike, Chapel, Uhura, and La'an are transformed into Vulcans for a mission, after which they decide to remain Vulcan, because that's what they would do. Pike becomes obsessed with efficiency and neatness, as well as talking loudly. Uhura manipulates Beto into accepting a mind meld to improve their compatibility for a potential relationship. Chapel ends all of her friendships and a relationship with Corby to focus on work. So, I guess Vulcans are just assholes, is what they're saying. And La'an develops Romulan tendencies, becoming a sinister warmonger. At a meeting regarding Batel's request to return from medical leave to her job with the Starfleet Judicial Department, Pike tells Vice Admiral Pasok that her return would be illogical, and Batel loses her temper with both. Scotty and James Kirk, on leave from the Farragut, become friends while working together to stop La'an with the help of Number One's Vulcan ex-boyfriend Doug. Spock connects with the 4 crew members, Katras, and persuades them to change back. They make amends for their actions. To Batel's surprise, Pasok offers her a promotion to head of the Judicial Department following his impending retirement, having been impressed by her outburst. So, there were a couple of small elements in this episode that I did like. I did like the Vulcan Doug in the sense that I can absolutely... So, this is one of those elements that was starting to add a little bit of realism in the Strange New Worlds world, was that a group of Vulcans would attach themselves to human culture and then raise their, children on that culture. Yes, I could see that eventually happening by about this point in the timeline. The problem is, where's the meat and potatoes? Where's the steak dinner that gets us to this hilarious, albeit pretty decently thought out concept? Well, it wasn't steak and potatoes. It was all just cotton candy and silly jokes that kind of...
Well, I feel like the other part of this is the solution to me didn't feel earned. Right? It felt very Deus Ex Machina. Doug comes out of nowhere feeling... Like, it feels like Doug comes out of nowhere and just fixes this. Right? At least to me. Like, why didn't we know about Doug before now?
Which is
right?
Fine, because honestly the episode needed fixing anyway, so he, swung in the nick of time for that. It was just the whole thing. So I'm assuming but it wasn't really explained this well on the show. I just kind of drew this up in my own head. Was that the serum affected their psychology differently than it should have, and that's like part of the reason why they were basically given the most toxic traits of what it meant to be a Vulcan, because they couldn't actually rectify Spock's humanity to understand his discipline.
Well, here's what I might actually give you as a possible answer to this, right? Imagine, if you will, an alien given a human serum, right? They're not part of human culture, so they don't know what the cultural taboos and what things to... what makes you a asshole human. So and society hasn't beaten that out of you as a thing to avoid, right?
Yeah.
So them taking on the worst traits of being a Vulcan makes a lot of sense, because they're not in a Vulcan culture that's going to say, like, that they haven't spent like 20 years being like, no, don't be that guy, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. H. What'd you think of this week's Strange New Worlds?
I was not a fan. It felt way too cartoony for me. Honestly, the season's not hooking me at all.
Well, that's a pretty straightforward response from someone who also really has tried to enjoy. And this is not like I want to hate this show. No, I want to be able to sit here and go, oh my gosh, it's just like Orville Season 3 or this amazing other or Foundation Season 3, I guess, because it's really good and everyone keeps saying it's great. Or, all these other shows and that are actually good. I would like Strange New Worlds to end on sticking the landing. I would love to see this show go out on a bang, on a high note. I want to see Season 4 give us, like, 9 episodes of Season 2, Episode 2, which is, like, Ad Astra Per Aspera or something, I think was the name. So, yeah. Dahlia Lightwood says, appreciate the honesty from H. Marie. LOL. Yeah. It's what we do here. But,
no, look, I mean,
but that's like your, that's legitimate consumer, report and review. What are you gonna do? I mean, I'll get better. Be better, guys. Write better. So.
Well, I mean, look, there are a lot of places that you could, in theory, go with Strange New Worlds that the original series didn't get a chance to go. We know that there are races that original Trek introduced us to that were just part of the Federation because they talked about them, but we never actually got to meet any of them, right? We got a little bit of an introduction to the Tellarites in Enterprise, but we could have a couple of good episodes dealing with their cultural integration to the wider Federation. We could have them meet the Beta Zeds. And maybe the Beta Zeds don't admit to being telepaths because for them it's just normal.
Yeah.
Right? There are places this series could have gone that would be fascinating for somebody who's interested in the history of this universe, and yet been new adventures for the people who are new fans.
Right.
They decided to completely ignore that option and try to turn this into go from, Call of Duty serious guys, and then swing to screwball comedy.
All right. Basically switching from Call of Duty to Fortnite.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that the rest. Hope this.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. That's just giving them so much credit. Like, I waited until the very end to give my 2 cents because this show lost me. Like, I didn't even care that season 3 was coming out.
Oh.
And like, I'm not a guy to watch trailers because I know how much trailers can give away all of the good.
I want to preface this before you get too much further, guys. John really enjoyed season 1, and that's part of the reason why we started watching Deep Space Nine. So,
well, dude, let's jump back even further. Like, I'm one of the few guys that still loves Foundation, and I was right 100%. If you watch all 3 seasons, it's cooking. Every plot is holed, every hole is plotted, everything tracks. This is the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where Foundation comes out and goes, by the way, the whole world is about to end, and it's not ending this season, but we're going to try and end the universe as you know it. And then keeps that and keeps saying how it's happening, keeps telling you how the catastrophe is coming. Like, they literally told everybody, here's our plot line, and we're going to have a number of plot explosions, aka seasons, and those plot explosions are what we're going to follow. And that's our show. Like, that's what we're talking about. But then Strange New Worlds goes, hey, you guys know how Star Trek basically made science fun and showed what science could look like for everybody. Yeah, Strange New Worlds forgot all of that and forgot their name and then made Star Trek the funny.
You know what? I'm actually reminded of a Deep Space Nine line that Martok says when he's talking about the Jem'Hadar. He's going on a rant and he goes, "They're soulless. Nothing is glorious. Nothing is affirmed." And he goes, "I must protect," and he's going on this rant. And I'm sitting there going, "Yeah, that's current Star Trek writing. Nothing is glorious. Nothing is affirmed. Nothing is meant to make us hope and believe again."
Yeah. Dolly Lightwood says, "I'll never fault someone for an honest opinion. I've not watched Strange New Worlds yet, but have heard good, bad things depending on who I've asked. I may watch it, though. Been a while since I trekked." Yeah, it's worth at least trying, but Orville is the real Star Trek by comparison. I mean, it's...
I mean, honestly, Strange New World is only worth trying when Orville Season 4 comes out as Star Trek The Orville.
Right.
Like, when the Orville is accepted, then Strange New Worlds can be its weirdness that it was, and suddenly it fits the universe.
Yeah.
Because while we've had a strict universe that follows super space laws and follows the one directive,
You said
we haven't had that in any tracks.
You were also mentioning that you don't normally watch trailers.
Yeah, so I didn't know season 3 was coming. And had I have seen the trailer, I could have told you everything that's about to happen. A corny hash of Hosh, because I saw the season 4 trailer. And if you guys remember, it was a freaking Muppet. That was their preamble to, hey, we're already sure that season 3 crushed it. We're jumping season 4, and here's a Muppet. Like, sharks and whales be damned. We're skipping right to Muppets. Jump in the trains, jump in the shark, jump in the nuke in the fridge, straight to Muppet Town, as if they're riding that ship from the Thumb one, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yep, we're fridging the shark.
Like they're writing this story as if they're on that ship. That's not what Star Trek is. Hitchhiker's Guide is not Star Trek. Star Trek is not Hitchhiker's Guide. Hitchhiker's Guide is what a random person who just woke up in the future of Star Trek experiences. And it's
goes at a different racist version of Star Trek.
You know what? Poesapatos, I think we've officially coined your phrase. Fridging the shark, I think, needs to be your thing. That needs to be attributed solely to
Fridging the shark into a Muppet. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Hey, if there's a singing universe, there's a Muppet universe too.
Yes, there is a Muppet.
I want to. Can we go to like?
If you guys watch Murders in Muppet Town or whatever it is on Netflix with God, what is her name? Melissa McCarthy.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Phenomenal. If you bring Captain Pike down into that movie, fine. I don't care about the Muppet part. What I care about is what you're setting yourself up for. You're saying season 3 was such a banger that you can tease season 4 as a Muppet.
Season 3 has not been a banger. It had a couple of decent moments, and I think a couple of episodes kind of like season 2, kind of like season 1. But right now, the Percival Dreadnought recommended list of Strange New Worlds watching is like 5 episodes, but probably like 7 episodes right now in total. So that's, yeah. All right, time to move on to some real science fiction and some actually enjoyable science fiction at that. And that is, of course, Alien Earth. For those of you that are fans of Aliens or Alien or Alien 3 or Aliens Resurrection, you definitely got to check this out. Whether you end up loving it or hating it, I mean, right now there's a bunch of canon breaking taking place, but here's the thing, guys. With Ridley Scott, you need to understand when he decides to change his universe and stories, that's it. There's no undoing it or changing it back or fighting him on it. I mean, the producers released their version of Blade Runner with a noir voiceover that they thought was going to be better for the film, and I'm going to admit I might need to go back and rewatch both versions and decide which version I like better, because Ridley Scott did not
Gosling beat Ford by 1,000 miles and a half.
No.
Have you seen Gosling?
2049 was good, but not, no.
It
but
is.
Close.
When you compare the two stories side by side, you go, yeah, I guess I would rather watch Gosling go through this.
No.
I mean, no, look, here's what I would say. 2049 is good.
It's a good sequel.
It's a good movie, but it is not the original Blade Runner.
And it can't exist without the original, so.
Right. So what I'm going to say is I do think it's worth watching, and I do think it's a quality movie. But the original Blade Runner, yeah, I didn't hate it.
But it did a good job of feeling enough like the original Blade Runner, but that's the thing with Ridley Scott movies. That's what his films are more about. He's not a I'm going to talk to you about everything storyteller. He is a visual, and he is very much, and I noticed this today when I was watching, the big thing that he tries to work with and tell story with is emotions and feelings.
Okay.
And
so this is where I would say you have to watch both Blade Runners in conjunction, because if you watch the first one and then you watch the second one, you realize that the second one is trying to get you to notice all the things you missed in the first one.
Right.
While also still not saying that the first one was fake. Like, it's magnificent. Basically, it's a writer coming back and telling the same story in a way that more people can get what he was trying to say.
So
and that's it.
In this
instance, full stop. That's a weird part. But Alien, if you watch all of them, and I watched every single one within the span of like 3 weeks. So I have no bias on years to fall in love and think that it was better. I literally had never seen any of them. Watched the first 2 episodes of this show. Was like, I have to watch all of Alien, and then rewatch the first 2 episodes of this show because I decided to watch it without my wife. And we're both loving it. And so now we're caught up. I think it's episode 3.
We are on episode 4.
4. So we're caught up to episode 4. And episode 4 for me was the one that like broke everything James Cameron has ever done with Aliens, and was like, hey guys, we're gonna nerd out for a minute.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't think that canon has been fully broken in any way just yet. I think it's being changed and it's being shifted. But from what I have been able to tell, the xenomorph hasn't been announced as a public discovery yet, and it might not be. They might try to keep everything classified and contained, which so far everything has been classified and contained. There's been no media presence at the crash site aside from, oh no, a ship crashed. No news reporters were in there gathering the specimens. They were all taken up by the Prodigy Corporation and taken to Prodigy HQ on Elon Musk Island. So,
well, even go further than that. 5 companies control Earth.
Right.
And one of them is in control of that entire location where this is going down. They don't have to tell anyone anything.
And the one that does know kind of just dropped an alien species on the other one.
Yeah, like they're not going to admit to.
It's literally like if America nuked Russia and was like, "Oh, Russia's keeping it quiet."
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah. So we don't know whether or not this show breaks canon, because the first Alien movie, there's a lot of hints that the people that sent the ship out to go do the things in the movie already knew what to expect. But we'll get into that.
The crazier part is when you take in Covenant and you take in the Prometheus and you go, the whole story is that the humans from Weyland-Yutani in the 2020s tried to go to Alpha Centauri, but instead of Alpha Centauri, they go to a specific star system that they know is called out to them because it's mapped in all of these ancient cultures.
Yeah.
And if you watch all of the Alien movies, that's the common thread. For some reason, they are able to pick up a random beacon or signal on a planet that is worth its notice.
Do we know all the names of the 5 companies that control Earth right now, or have they not all been revealed yet?
I can see if I can get it.
Yeah, Weyland-Yutani and Prodigy. I'm just... If
It says
Tyrell
it in the
Corporation
first game.
exists, I'm gonna lose my shit. But I've done the math, I've done the research. The Blade Runner universe could easily link into this one.
So could the if you've ever seen the movies Soldier and Screamers, they are heavily implied to take place in the Blade Runner universe as well.
Oh. Because you gotta remember, Blade Runner takes place in what is now the past, 2019.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, 2049 pushed it up a couple years.
No, in that timeline, it still takes place in 2019 and 2049. But it's a different time, it's a different universe.
Okay, so I've got the 5 companies. It's Weyland-Yutani, Prodigy, Dynamic, Threshold, and Lynch.
Damn it.
Okay, and
well, they could have merged from Tyrell or something.
Is AVP Requiem considered canon?
I believe so.
That one's been the debate, yeah.
If it's considered canon, everything else tracks and everything else fits, and it's a variation between the new Star Wars, or not the prequels, and the main trilogy. So there's the main trilogy, Alien 1, 2, and 3. And that's where Sigourney Weaver is almost 300 years old, doing her own thing. And she went back to the same planet twice in 1 and 2. And then in number 3, she's like 500 years old. I don't remember how old she is, but way later. So we have a huge window to work with here. Sigourney Weaver left on a ship before Prometheus, before Alien Covenant. Or no, she left after Alien Covenant and after Prometheus. So she was just part of a normal mining trip, right? Which means that Prometheus and Covenant, if they are part of the canon and if they are part of the story, they set all of the alien into motion that then triggered Sigourney's emergency beacon, because they all worked with Weyland-Yutani in Prometheus and Covenant. And in AVP Requiem. AVP Requiem inspired Prometheus and Covenant. AVP doesn't really fit in Requiem except for that it sets Requiem up to happen. Because AVP was just in a random town in like 2006. Aliens is in like 20 something in the future. So it's like Alien Earth happens while Sigourney is on her routine trip, which does kind of contradict what time the security officer got to that planet. Because if for some reason they do this perfectly, and they theoretically can, they can say that Weyland-Yutani got Sigourney's beacon, got the vessel, or sent a vessel to go pick them up. That was the security officer securing the aliens, and then sent another one later to pick up the vessel that they didn't see the first time they went there, because according to the story, Sigourney is just in an emergency pod lingering in space around an orbit of that planet for longer than she was supposed to be. And then they found her, another ship found her passing back, right, and brings her back to Earth. So theoretically, Alien Earth could nail the Sigourney timeline where she shows up for one split second. We see a ship land. We hear about it coming from an alien planet where xenomorphs are. Everybody calls it propaganda. Wendy and her friends are like, what are you talking about? We have xenomorphs here. We have to go break this news to the world. Season 1 ends. Season 2 starts. And Sigourney's already back on her recon trip to that other planet. And we can send in more people to follow her. She gets lost on that planet again. And so she's gone for 500 years, and we have all of those years to do new seasons worth of content before Sigourney ever shows up again. Like,
Right.
Alien Earth, you can say it breaks canon, but there is no perfect timeline in Alien. And if you accept Requiem, everything so far fits into a relatively comfortable line.
I just want to point
So,
out,
guys-
we haven't even gotten into the episode discussion, and already we've raved about how much we're enjoying Alien Earth and our speculations on how it fits in the timeline with the rest of the Alien movies.
So, guys, I have something for you. Because I love you both so much, I was able to track down a quote where Ridley Scott says, while they are not allowed, because of studio nonsense, to be in the same universe, they are the Blade Runner universe and the Alien franchise, in his mind, in the director's mind, are linked.
And that's evidenced by the way the universe feels and the fact that it basically feels like a sequel to the Blade Runner era. And that's where we are with the synths now, is that they're more commonplace and that they're being revitalized. So, all right, episode 3, Metamorphosis. This was one we needed to catch up on. We had 2 episodes to catch up on this week, and then we're back to our regularly scheduled 1-episode discussions. So here we go. Episode 3, Metamorphosis. Nibs questions Curly about why the hybrids are all named Peter Pan characters and why Marcy gets to be Wendy. Cavalier orders the specimens be brought to Neverland Island for study, despite objections from Kirsch and Dame Sylvia. Morrow finds Smee and Slightly guarding the xenomorph eggs and interrogates them, suspicious of their childlike behavior. He downloads the specimen data from the Minoi and plants a device on Slightly before escaping. Meanwhile, Wendy and Hermit fight the xenomorph with a meat hook, and Wendy kills it, although both sustained serious injuries. Returning to the island, Hermit undergoes surgery, and the Sylvias tend to Wendy. Cavalier inspects the specimens until Kirsch removes from his own protection. Removes him for his own protection. Adam Enos questions Smee and Slightly about their encounter with Morrow. Having escaped into New Siam, Morrow calls Yutani and insists on retrieving the specimens despite being ordered to return home. Curly confronts Cavalier about his favoritism towards Wendy, believing herself to be the best hybrid. Morrow contacts Slightly via the embedded device, convincing him to be his friend. Kirsch, Toodles, and Curly dissect a facehugger and introduce its larva into Hermit's lung, removed during surgery. Wendy awakens, seemingly intercepting signals from the xenomorph eggs, which cause her pain. She ultimately collapses in the laboratory containing the eggs. Should we just go all the way to the summary for the next episode?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Hold up.
Okay.
That synopsis didn't give anything away.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that episode, skip ahead. We're going to go to the next synopsis. After that one, you can skip ahead, because I have faith that this next one won't give anything away.
Episode 4, Observation. Wendy wakes up with her hearing disabled. Arthur adjusts her hearing so that she is able to hear the xenomorph eggs without it being painful. Wendy is able to speak the language of the xenomorph in a frequency audible to humans. Hirsch and Toodles test the Triphonia oculus, that's what they call it. Triponhoi, whatever. Octopus thing on a sheep, and it implants itself into the sheep's brain. Kirsch remarks that the creature is highly intelligent. Morrow continues to communicate with Slightly and pressures him into revealing his real name as a sign of trust. Morrow convinces Slightly to steal one of the xenomorph eggs. Nibs claims she is pregnant, and when Dame Sylvia tries to make her talk about the rescue mission, Nibs becomes violent and is unknowingly put under house arrest. Hermit, having become jaded after seeing how Wendy is treated more as an experimental prototype than a person, attempts to quit and leave his position, only for Adam Enos to tell him that if he does, he will be sent a large bill for his new lung and never see Wendy again. When Slightly contacts Morrow to tell him it isn't possible to steal an egg, Morrow reveals that he used Slightly's real name to track down his family and implies that he will harm them if Slightly does not comply. He then instructs Slightly to find a human and take them to the eggs so that they can be infected by a facehugger. If it is revealed that Kirsch is listening to their conversations. Later at night, Wendy observes the xenomorph-infected lung, and a xenomorph suddenly bursts out. She is able to placate it, presumably due to her ability to speak their language.
So, I don't know how I feel about the xenomorphs having a language. That's my only piece on that.
Dude, it's the only thing that makes sense
Yeah,
for how they are able to traverse and not constantly attack each other.
and having a language doesn't necessarily equal a culture or any kind of, like, you know, intelligence beyond survival instinct.
No, especially when
I get it, but at the same time, I always assumed myself that they were operating at like an ant colony level where they're just basically controlled by pheromones of whatever queen or thing in charge is.
That was more of the language that I got. Like, more than anything, it felt like a repeated song. So like the way they're presenting it is she can hear them singing because their pheromones rub together. They're like crickets. They rub their feet together and they make a noise. But like to them, it's just rubbing their feet together because they don't have any ears. They have antenna, but they don't have ears, so they don't hear the creaking. They just hear the rubbing together. That tells them how whatever they're trying to communicate. I'm this many miles from the nest.
Well, hold on.
I'm this far away from the herd.
They operate by sonar. They don't have any. They only have sound because they don't have sight. Like that's one of the cool things about
so it's a weirder version of sonar because
they're actually handicapped.
It's the clicking though. The idea is more about sending out a wave and receiving a response wave to tell you how far the waves are from each other.
Just basic communication.
It is sonar, but and that's exactly what I'm feeling like from what are the aliens speaking to each other. It's more of a sonar. I'm constantly making a noise, and the eggs are that far away, and the eggs are that far away, and the eggs are that far away.
I think everybody is like reading into it as oh, they've chosen me to speak, like, oh, they're sentient like the Independence Day aliens, and
but that's what the characters. No, but that's what the characters are doing.
So they're
and
assuming.
I love that because it feels like they're gonna find out that they are way closer to a predatory mind with sentience,
just dogs and
cats, than they are to a communicative sentience.
Right. They're more of a animal than an intelligence with, you know, cultures and customs.
Dude, if
and
anything,
rituals.
I don't want to spoil Alien 3, but
yeah, don't spoil that movie that's over 20 years old, John. Thank you.
So here's the issue. Alien 3 is the exact same thing as this episode.
Right.
Prodigy actually thinks there might be a way to benefit from the xenomorph's existence.
Yes, that's correct.
But they do not know that the xenomorph is the Fermi paradox.
Yeah, it's just
It is in fact the great filter of the galaxy.
Yeah, I kind of think of it kind of like they're a highly intelligent. They're like, I don't know. They're kind of like the Flood in a way. They are a highly intelligent but more concentrated type of Flood. They can't. You know, they have to have their eggs to reproduce and whatnot, so they don't assimilate or, you know, reanimate dead corpses. But there's not like a huge purpose to them in the grand scheme of things. Like the Predator has more purpose than the Xenomorph.
They exactly like the Flood. The Flood is the Fermi paradox. In Halo, the idea is that they are so malevolent that their malevolence itself will corrupt you into believing that you can control it and thus bring the ring home and Mordor reigns supreme.
Right.
Like, and when you put that trope into the story, it's like you can't fault the alien for following its genetics, but you can fault every single idiot for trying to change its genetics.
Oh, like when you look at it structurally, Jurassic Park and Aliens are basically the same movie.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, I like that, and some people are complaining, oh, it gets slow, it gets boring. Guys, look, I like that it's not constant action-packed. I like that we have some action, and then we decide to take some time to do some world building and some lore establishing and some, you know, some thought-provoking, some sci-fi stuff that has us, oh, I don't know, discussing it around table like this show right now. You know,
Yeah.
stuff that actually inspires me that I enjoy watching, not banging
The
my head
fun
against
part-
the wall, going, why?
The fun part about scientists talking to comedians is when the comedian goes, "So how much of aliens is real?" And the scientist tries to explain, "Well, if there was an alien species that blah 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 blah," and Alien Earth is like, "Oh, we can make that a scene. We can CGI that for you."
Well,
It's
you
the
know, when you
best.
really
I love it.
really do the math on the xenomorph, you know they're based on actual insects that exist on Earth, right? There's a what is it, the golden beetle wasp that will literally sting a beetle, which impregnates it with its larva, and the larvae proceed to eat their way out of the beetle, chest bursting it all. And they will even do things like drag the beetle back to their lair, which is, you know, underground and created by, you know, the wasp that's engineered this space to be safe, like they do in Aliens. It's actually kind of terrifying. So yes, a species like a xenomorph could very easily exist in real life. And
Absolutely.
you know, the fact that it could in theory be out there makes it one of the shockingly more grounded sci-fi
Yeah.
in existence.
Yeah, again, Dahlia Lightwood, and the thing is that it doesn't shy away from its horror elements. It doesn't linger, you know, on the gross stuff. That's the other reason I'm enjoying this show, is it's being very tasteful with the violence, in the sense that, yeah, it's violent, it's a horror, but it's like, it's not gonna, you know, just focus on the camera. Look at how gross that is. That's so disgusting. Are you guys grossed out yet? Yes, I'm now desensitized to the point where I no longer give a shit. Thank you. Yeah, not really about that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what I felt the Suicide Squad was getting to be with its over the top. Oh wow, we haven't even gotten into Peacemaker yet. Anyway, yeah, so next week we're going to try and get a content map built again to figure out what we're going to be watching and reviewing. We have also been talking on the background of the show tonight, and we are going to start a goal of 4 books a year. So every 3 months, we're going to try and get through a book and review and talk about it. And we're going to figure out when and how that's going to look like. Because when we did books on this channel, our content was just, it felt so much better and more...
So what I think
here's
you're
the
he-
part-
what I mean,
wait.
hold on. What I'm hearing, Petey, is you want the people in the chat right now to send us their sci-fi book recommendations so that we can build a good list.
I
Is
mean,
that what I'm hearing?
If we want to put some suggestions, we can. I think
More
we've
than
already got a
anything,
couple.
No, I was thinking even better than that. We are telling everybody listening, you have 3 months to vote on the book you want us to read.
Oh, 1
Every
month.
3
I want to
months.
give us 3 months to...
No. Every 3 months, the audience can prescribe a book, and when you all agree on one, we'll read that one. Every 3 months.
Yeah.
But not the same one over and over again every 3 months, right? Because that can
If the audience wants us to suffer that much, fuck 'em. I won't. But I mean, I will blame them for why I didn't read another book in the last 12 years.
All right.
Well, it has been another fun-filled show tonight. I'm glad you guys were able to make it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, please join us next week. We're going to talk about more Alien Earth, of course. more Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and of course all the latest thing going on in pop culture. Whether or not we do Peacemaker yet, we'll figure that out as we go, just because there's already lots of loads to the show. Big thanks, guys. Thumbs up, says Dahlia Lightwood. Yes, please be sure to slam that like button if you haven't already. And yeah, Corione, what's going on with your channel?
Well, I've finished off my brief hiatus, and I am starting to work everything back in. And mid-September, we are once again going to convene a meeting of the Rogue Council.
All right.
There's been some craziness going on in the world, and we're going to get to discuss all of it.
That sounds excellent. Shout out, of course, to our producers this evening, Dahlia Lightwood, Top Hat Jay, and Pollo Zapatos, as well as everybody watching, lurking, liking, subscribing. We appreciate all of it to help get the word out there. I'm Petey York with the Ryder Brothers. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Oh yeah, check out Will Knight. This has been a presentation of the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast from the Ryder Brothers. The Ryder Brothers, restoring respect into discourse. Good night.